Okay, so this is page 71 from the JPEGD workbook. So we are given the front view and the top view of a right regular square prism and a right regular hexagonal pyramid. And we're also given the starting point on our answer space. Specifications: one base edge of the square prism is in contact with one base edge of the hexagonal pyramid, and both solids are cut by cutting plane AA. So we are given two views, the top view and the front view, and we're also given the cutting plane AA right there, and the height of the pyramid and the prism is 50. So instructions: draw to a scale 1:1 the following views of the two solids. So we have to draw the given front view, the sectional top view, and the sectional right view. Show all necessary construction, show all hidden detail. Okay, so obviously we are given two views, the top view and the front view. So in order for us to draw the front view, that means we have to draw the top view first, because we are not given the length of this base of the two solids. So obviously for us to get this points from the front view, we have to draw the top view first so that we can just project the points up. So I'll start with the top view. Obviously, as you can see, the prism there is tilted at an angle of 60 degrees, or is placed at an angle of 60 degrees. So obviously for me to draw this line, I'll use my 30 by 60. So I'll put my 30 by 60 like that and draw construction line. And obviously this line will be at an angle of 30. If this line is at an angle of 60, this one will be at an angle of 30. So I can just draw two lines like that. So we are given the sides. So the dimension of the sides is 24. So that means I'll have to mark off 24 there. And this side. Right? And then from there I can just project this point up like that, and also this point like that. So obviously we have the top view of the prism there. So these are the 4 points of the prism, and then now I have to draw the hexagon shape there. So obviously this base of the pyramid is 24, so obviously all the sides are 24. So for me to draw this, I'll have to place my my set square there on this line, right? And then take my 30 by 60 and place it there, so that I can, let me just move the set square a little bit down like that. Then place my 30 by 60 like that, and draw a line there, and draw a line this side. Right, and I'll have to measure 24 there, 24 as well this side like that, and I place my set square on that line. Then place my 30 by 60 like that, draw a line there, a line there. Then on those lines I'll have to mark off 24. So 24 is right there. Then from there I can just complete my shape there like that. So that means I have a point there, point there, point there, and a point there, right? And then what about the center point there? So for that one I can just mark off half of 24, which is 12 there, right? And then I'll just draw a line there, and then draw a line here between those 2 points like that. So that means I have the center point there. And then now I can just draw in those lines in the middle there. Just like that. Okay, so now I'll proceed and draw the front view. So from here I can just add an XY line. So from that line I'll measure 10 millimeters and then draw my XY line. So I can start my XY line somewhere here up to somewhere there, because remember I'll have to draw the right view. Let me just zoom out a little bit like that. Okay, then from here obviously I'll have to label my XY line there like that. Then from here I'll have to project the points up so that I can just draw my front view. Okay, just like that. So I can just measure 10 millimeters again for the base of the two solids. Okay, so let me just label my top view, the points there. So I can say this is point number 1, number 2, 3 and 4. So the hexagon there, I can say where is A? So I can just say A is there, A, B, C, D, E and F, just like that. And then this point here, I can just say this is point P, just like that. Okay, so I'll start with the prism there. So I have point 1 there, point 1 will be there, so this is our point 1. 2 is right there, 3 is there, and 4 is right there, right? And then the height of the prism and the pyramid is 50, so I can mark off 50 there, 50 is there. So I'll just draw a horizontal line there like that, right? So obviously I'm not done with the prism, so we have line 2 there, 3 3 1 1, because remember for a prism we have two bases, the top base and the bottom base, right? And we also have line 4 4. Okay, so I'm done with the prism. I'll just move to the pyramid there. So I'll start with A. A is right there, so here we have 2 points there, 4 and A. And then here we have B and C, B and C. We also have D as well here, same line with this 2. We have E there, E is right there, F, oh no, E is not there, E is here, sorry about that, I have to erase the part there, that E, so we only have point 1 here, not E. E is on this line here. Then we have F as well, just like that, and then back to A. Okay, perfect. And then we have point P. This is the apex of the pyramid, so obviously point P will be up there, like that. Okay, so now let's go back to our two views there. Let's look at the front view. So if you check, we have some hidden detail lines there, and that line there, it's for the pyramid. That means the pyramid is just behind the prism, right? So we can just draw the edges that are in front for the prism. So line 2 2 obviously is there, so I can just draw in that line or edge. And we have line 1 1, that, and we have line 4 4, right? And for line 3 3 is hidden, so I'll have to add a hidden detail line there. Okay, so this is the prism. So let me just draw in the top base there, and the bottom base there. So this is the prism, right? So I'll have to draw the front view of the pyramid. So obviously, let me just draw light constructions first. That, and we have E there. Yeah, just like that. So obviously, I'll see this edge, which is line PC, right? PC is there, so I can draw in that line, just like that. And then for line PE, that line is hidden, so I have to add a hidden detail line there. Just like that. And then I'll have to draw in the base there. Okay, so now I'll have to add the cutting plane, AA there. So as you can see, the cutting plane passes through that point there to that point there, right? So obviously I can just add the cutting plane there, just like that. So this is cutting plane A, right? Okay, so now I'm done with the front view. I can just mark off that view, and then obviously I have to complete my top view. So obviously here, the top view, obviously I have to draw two cut surfaces. So obviously I have the cutting plane there. So from the cutting plane I have 1 2 3 4 5 points, right? So I have to project those points down to our top view there. So obviously there we have a point already, we have a line there, we have a line there. Then I have to project this point from the cutting plane there, like that. We have projected that one and that one. Okay, let me just start with the pyramid, right? So obviously we have the cutting plane there, and the cutting plane is cutting the pyramid from here up to there, right? Okay, so let me start with this point, or let me just start with this point from the base. So here obviously that means we have a straight line there. Okay, the next point is this one. So obviously for us to get this point from line PA and PD, I'll have to project this point horizontally to this edge here, so that I can just project that edge down to line PB and PC, like that, right? So because I'm trying to get this point, right? So from there, that means that line touches that line PB there and PC there. Now I'll have to take my compass, put my compass on point P to that point on line PB, like that, and then I have to project this point to line PA, right? And then I'll put my compass again on point P, right? Point P there to this point. I'll project this point to line PD. So that means the 2 points of the cut surface are there, right? So obviously the cutting plane is cutting this edge. I remember we have 2 lines here. We have line PA and PD. So obviously for us to get the point from this view, I'll have to project this point to one of the edges of the pyramid. So I decided to project this point to this edge and then take it down to these 2 lines so that I can just project the points, right? I hope it makes sense. So I have those 2 points there, and then here the cutting plane is cutting line PE and PF, right? So where is PE? PE is there, so that means we have a point there, and PF is right there, so that means we have a point right there. So now obviously I'm done with the pyramid. So this is our cut surface, so I can just connect the points there like that. There, just like that, and then straight down to C there. Same thing here. Right, and I can just connect these 2 points. Why do I have a line here? It's because obviously the cutting plane is cutting the pyramid from here, so that means obviously I'll see that edge from the base. So this is our cut surface for the pyramid, so I can just hedge the surface or the shape there. So I have okay, so I'm done with the pyramid. Now I'll move to the prism, right? So where is the prism? The prism, remember, from the top view, the prism is right there, right? That means the prism starts from here all the way to here, right? So this is our prism. So the cutting plane cuts the prism from this point to that point, right? From here to that point. Okay, let me just indicate there. So obviously I have this point, that means it's from here, and then we have this edge there, right? Okay, and this one. So for this point there, I can just draw horizontal line all the way to there, right? Because there the cutting plane cutters line 1 2, so where is line 1 2? 1 2 is there, so that means we have a point there, and then obviously it touches the point there, which is 3, so 3 is there. So this is our cut surface for the prism. So I can just draw in the shape there. So I can just draw in the shape like that. Then I can just hatch the surface there. Okay, so I have the two cut surfaces for the pyramid and the prism. So now I have to draw in the remaining part of the two solids. So for the pyramid, obviously, all the points from the base are still there. We did not cut out those points. So that means I can just draw in the base of the pyramid there. Just like that. Draw that, and then now I'll have to add the edges of the pyramid there. So here I have two lines from the base to this point on the cutting plane. So here we have line PF and PE, right? So PF and PE, but now I have to draw in the edge from F to that point, right? Same thing as for this line here. Just like that, and then we have this edge as well. This is line PA and PD, so PA and PD. So I'll have to draw in those lines there, just like that. So this is the top view of the pyramid, and then for the prism, obviously point 2 is still there, so we have to draw in that point. So I'll have to draw that line there and that line there. So this is the complete sectional top view of the two solids. So I can just mark off that view there. So now we have to draw the sectional right view. So remember, this is first angle orthographic projection. So the right view will be on our left hand side next to the front view, obviously. So from here I can just add the vertical XY line there, right? So add the XY line there, just like that, and add the 45-degree line, just like that. Just extend that line a little bit. Okay, so this is X1, Y1. Okay, so now I can just project all the points for the pyramid and the prism. So I'll just project all the points there to the 45-degree line. Those points, that point, this point, that point. there. I have to extend my XY line there. Okay, just like that. So I will draw the right view in light construction first. So I will start with the pyramid, the base. So I have A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So I'll start with A. So A is right there because A is there on that line, and B will be there. So here I have B, here I have A. C is there. D is there. E is there with C, right? And F is with B, and back to A, right? And then we have point P. So let me just project the point there. So point P is just up there because P is there. So I can label the point there. So now I can just draw in those lines there in light construction, because we have to draw a sectional right view. So obviously we have to add the cut surface there. Just like that. So this is our pyramid, and then I'll have to try and draw the prism as well. So I'll start with point 1. Point 1 is there, so we have 1 and 1. Then 2, we have 2 there, 2, 2. 3 is there, same point with C, so we have 3 there and 3 up there. Then we have 4 is there with D, then we have 4 up there. Okay, so this is our prism right there. So now I have to come up with the two cut surfaces from the two solids. Remember, now we are looking from this direction, from our left side, right? We're looking from this direction. So obviously we'll see the pyramid first, and then the prism is just next to it, just behind. So I'll have to start by drawing in the cut surface for the pyramid. So obviously we will use the points from the cutting plane. So I'll just project the points from the cutting plane there. So I have to project that point, and that top point there. Okay, so obviously here we have a line P, B, and PC. So P, B, and C are there. So we have 2 points, right? So I can just connect those 2 points, right? Those are the 2 first points for the cut surface, right? And then we move to the next point. Here we have line PA and PD, right? So PA is there and PD is there. So obviously that means we have a point right there and a point there. So I can just connect those points, right? Just like that. Okay, then I move to this point. Right here we have line PE and PF. PE and PF. Where is PE? PE is there and PF is there. That means I have a point there, a point right there, right? And so I can just connect the 2 points there. So this is our cut surface right there. So I can just connect like that. Like that. So now I have to hatch. Okay, so I'll just hatch the surface. Let me use this ruler. So I'll just hatch that surface there. Just like that. So this is our cut surface for the pyramid. So let me just move to the prism. So for the prism, obviously the prism is right there from the front view, so I have to project the points from the cutting plane. So obviously the prism starts there. So this is line 4 4. So line 4 4 ways 4 4 4 4 is there. So that means we have our first point of the cut surface there. And we also have this point here. This is line 1 1. So where is line 1 1 1 1 is there. So obviously that means I have a point there, right? And then we move to the last point there. So here obviously here the cutting plane is cutting line 1 2. So line 1 2 from the top is there. So obviously the point for the cut surface is right there. So I can just project that point to this line there, then take it up to that line up there between 1 and 2. That means we have a point there. And back to 3 obviously. So back to 3. So 3 is there. That means this is a point as well. So I can just connect all the points there. This is our cut surface. So just connect the points like that. And up there. Like that. And also that line there. Right, so this is our cut surface. So now I can just hatch that surface there. Start here, just like that. Okay, so these are the two cut surfaces. So let me just highlight there. Okay, so now I have to complete my view. So obviously we have cut the two solids right there. So now I have to draw in the remaining part. So because we are looking from this direction, for us to see the two cut surfaces, obviously we have to remove this two portions for the pyramid and the prism. So obviously we are left with the points this side, right? So I'll start with the pyramid. So because we have removed point P, we are left with this point from the base. So I can just draw a straight line there, right? This is the base. And obviously we have this edge. This is edge, or this is line PA and PD. But obviously this part is cut out, so that means I'll just draw in this line. So obviously that part will leave it like that, so I can just only draw in this edge there from the cut surface down to point A, and same thing this side from the cut surface to point D, like that. Okay, and then we have this edge here. This is line PE and PF. So obviously these two edges, they are just behind, so obviously PF is right there, so I will just draw a hidden detail line there. Then PE is there, so I'll just draw a hidden detail line as well there. So let me just start with this one here. So add a hidden detail line there all the way to point E. Same thing here, hidden detail line, just like that. So I'm done with the pyramid. Now I'll move to the prism. So for the prism, obviously we have this line there, so this is line 4 4. So where is 4 4? Line 4 4 is there, so I can just draw in that edge, right? And we have that line 1 1, so 1 1 is there, but I'll only draw in this part only, the bottom part, because 1 is cut out, right? Okay, and then we have line 3 3, so 3 3 is there, so I'll just draw in that line all the way to this point, right? And then we have line 2 2, right? But 2 2 obviously is just behind, so here I'll just add a hidden detail line like that. Just like that. So that means this is the complete view, right? Because I've added all the edges. Line 4 4 or 4 is cut out. So yes, so this is the complete drawing for this question. I can just mark off that question there, right? So this is the complete drawing. This is our sectional right view, this is our front view, and this is our sectional top view.